Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwig Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle holiday ornaments from CZT Suzanne McNeil. So, being that it is December and I have a theme going on in my Tangle Addicts community, Festivus Tanglus 2022. And so I'm highlighting tangles that lend themselves um, to being festive in one way, shape, or form or another. So I found this. I was like, well, obviously that one has to go. This one here has to go in with the mix. Uh, and oddly, well, let me just start with you could do this a number of ways. She kind of has it as a fill in, and that's what I'll do. But you could do this just as a string. You know, well, you can imagine. I'm going to start with one big orb in the center. I'm going to do it as a fill in, but just knowing that, you know, it's all up to your creativity and how you see that you could use this. And what she's done is she's alternated the orbs like so. All right. Then in between them, now I found a couple different ways to do this. It's not like it's really complicated, except if you want, except to fill in the space. So what I did sometimes was, and I'll do it right here. I put a bigger orb in the center, and then smaller, smaller, because that's what Suzanne has here is a big orb in the center, and then two smaller ones connecting the giant orbs that we just drew. So that's one way. Of course, you could go with the start from here, from one orb, do a smallish one, then go bigger, then go smaller. And let's see, and because this will be going off the page here, then like that. So whatever works for you. Here's the problem I came up with. It's like if I start here and I want to make sure that I'm getting both in there, and so then sometimes I would start off with like this size orb. Then the other would have to be too big. All these things. Uh, you know, the Tangler's life or something. So I share that so that way hey, yeah, from my frustration, you maybe then don't have to have any. All right, and one more. I'm thinking this one. I have all of these little partials here, which is fine. All right, so there we go. Oops. Well, we can't have this one without a little guy there. Okay. And so you can see how, I mean, you could just do a string of them and it would look really, really neat. So her, it's pretty, sort of the last step is to fill these in with print tops. Now, what I decided to do on this is start one in the middle ish, and then just go around the outside. Now, looking at Suzanne's step outs, she has quite a bit of separation between hers. You can do this however you want, as you know. I like to pack, when I do print tops in general, I pack them in nice and tight, and then use a little hollow bow sometimes to put them put yeah part of them behind the others, kind of like that, like this, like that, because then, and I'm going to go ahead and just do this now, because generally when we do print on, we fill in the little gaps. and that makes it look really neat when you do that. I mean, if you didn't want to, of course. Do you have to? No. Um, but that's what I did. And say, yeah, and again, looking at hers, and she has a lot of um, area that she's filling in because she had hers kind of small and far apart, and it just depends on what look you're wanting to go for. These make me think of actually things. I think more about beads than I do about ornaments. Although this, if you were doing a say a Christmas tangle, having a string of these could be a neat garland, or let's see, using a strand of these along a string line or something. It just could be really really neat, or like this as a fill-in. All right. Oops, and I just realized because I'm looking here. Let me move down this way and see if I can not have my hand in the way. I try to make sure that everything is set up with, so that the camera has a little bit of an angle on it, so then I don't have to think about it. And this way, yeah, that way you can see. So just like I said, fit them in there nice and tight. But that's the way I like to do them. Let me do another one, and then what I think I will do is just hit. Oh no, you know what? Let me do this. Oh, look at that! Almost looks like a like little bijou. I actually, well, is this? No, this is a good. No, this isn't my fill-in uh, micron that I has the slanted tip because I was too rough with it. But see how it's a little bit thicker on the one side. It's like, ooh, look at how I did. I have no idea how I did that. It just came out that way. Those are the best things when things just happen. All right. So yeah, I think what I will do is let me hit pause. And if you're tangling along with me, you can hit pause as well in a second and finish these up because you don't need to be tortured with watching me fill in all of these. I should have made them bigger with print tops. Um, and then we'll share some little extra thoughts on this. Um, yeah, before I close it up. All right. Well, you hit pause. I'm gonna hit pause. I'll be right back, and as soon as the rest of those are done, see you in a minute. All right, I'm back. Now, you could leave it like this, or you could fill in some of these extra beads. I'm gonna do. I'll just do a few here. I'm leaving my little shine, although I didn't leave the other side, but that's okay. And you could do, like I'm doing the center one. I noticed on Linda Farmers, when you take a look at the For More Inspiration link, that's where you find Suzanne's Step Out. Linda always does her own little thumbnail picture of these. And she filled in, oh, I was going to do that on this one. Oh, well. She filled in the other two, these two, which looks neat. I kind of like the center one just because too much dark next to each other kind of all blends in together. Something else that could help make your decision is um, if you happen to have any of these orbs that you just kind of go, ew, I wish I could do something different with that. Then I would start there. That's what I do. And you don't have to leave the little shine. I just think it looks neat. And this way, I also don't have to use the white gel pen with it, although I can. It just makes it a little bit more bold if we do that. Now, shading ideas. I was thinking, you could do this like you would do regular print tops if you wanted to, which would be to go around the outside of some of them. But I'm thinking because this is a little bit different, let's just put a little graphite. Well, those ones on the ends aren't going to matter. I'm just kind of going on the outside of this because if these are ornaments, they're probably going to be round-ish in one way, shape, or form. I said that twice on here. That's weird. I must have heard that somewhere. Now it's stuck in my head. And both times I went, did I say that right? I don't even know. So, all right. And then with the tortillon, just kind of going over that a little bit to create a little gradient. And you just have to make sure to leave some original tile color in there, otherwise it's just gray. And that kind of rounds it up just a little bit. You also could, and I'm going to just use the what's left on my tortillon here. You could do a little drop shadow, which is really kind of just like aura-ing. Oh, can you even see that? It's so light. Wait, let me turn my. There we go. I turn the brightness down on my light, and that helps. And what's fun about this is you don't have to be exact at all. Just putting a little bit of graphite a distance, away from your object. And like I said, you don't have to be exact. Just a little bit of something, and have a little bit of white space in between, and it's neat. So neat tangle. At first I was like, oh, that's cool, and then as I was doing it, I'm like, huh. But then as I was finishing it, I'm like, this is really cool, and lots of neat ideas that you could use this with. Like I said, either a string or a fill-in. You could make I could have made the orbs probably a lot bigger or a little bit bigger to fill in the space, but it looks neat. Ooh, could be dangles too. I wouldn't put the drop shadow. Well, no, because if I put the drop shadow, for whatever reason, I like it on that side better. Um, you could. Anyway, fun. All right, if you enjoyed this, and I hope you did, would love to have you click like. Feel free to leave comments, share it, and if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. I mentioned the description section. You'll find step outs there, ways to connect with me. My website link is there. If you happen to be on Facebook, we have a wonderful Facebook community. Would love to have you join us there. And just so you know, I do have a couple of, I think there's 2 questions that are required. And then there's 2 other things, just because I like to make sure that the tone is right for the club. So there is that, just as a warning. I think that's it. On my website, you'll find some tangles in themes, like in categories. I'm continually working on that. I do classes. So if you'd like to join online sometime, we would love to have you. A lot of them are free. I do have some that are paid, just so you know. And yeah, I think that's it. So with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.